welcome cunts. Sorry, I was just being a bit aggressive because we've just watched season 19, episode 1.
Yeah, bit charged up still.
Yeah, well, that's why we watched 14 fights back to back.
In a row, yeah.
In a row.
Sprinkled in with a bit of trash talking.
Yeah.
From the one and only Team Sonnen.
So we're just going to bring it down now.
Yep.
Talk to you guys about what looks to be a fantastic season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah. Straight away, the first thing I noticed, TUF season 17, episode 1. The first thing I noticed was that there was no pink dyed hair, no green shit on people's head, no mohawks, no spiky bullshit.
There was a strict no pink mohawk policy this year.
Yeah, and they picked a gritty bunch of fighters, which I love to see. Finally, there's no messing about.
After the fiasco that was called Julian Lane.
Yeah,
tough season, last season.
I think Julian Lane might have been the final straw.
Yeah.
Just like, you know what, we
can't have this shit.
Yeah, we're losing credibility. We've got to get real fighters, professionals, and athletes on the show, not clowns.
Yeah.
So yeah,
no clown zone.
Yeah, that's it. And I think the show's going to be better for it. They've also added another little wrinkle to this season, which is on the fight-ins, people's friends and family were there in the crowd to watch it. Oh.
That was harsh.
Yeah. And at first, when they first started with the hotel room footage where they were saying goodbye to their family and stuff, at first I was thinking, this is a bit too cheesy. Like, it's FX. They're kind of going for that corny,
the emotional storyline
angle,
like, straight off the bat.
And I was thinking, I was a bit cynical, but then I have to admit, it added drama to the show. Definitely added. Like, that's why I'm not a television producer.
Well, I think episode 1's a tough episode because there's no in-house action, so it's just fighting. And like I said, it is just 14 fights that you're seeing in highlight form. So how do you make that more interesting? Well, you just stick in their friends and family. Yeah. And there's a bit of a crowd, so it becomes like a little mini event in itself.
Exactly, yeah.
And I don't know, the hotel footage seemed a little bit unnecessary for me.
Yeah, you could just have them there at the venue.
Yeah, that's just interview them quickly.
Quick interview with the family, and then watch their reactions.
But this year we've got a 3-year deal for the winner.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Fighter, which is...
sounds good. You never quite know with these business deals like that. It might be 3 years, but they only give you 2 fights in that period. Yeah, or what if they end up with someone who wins a show but loses every fight in 3 years? In 3 years, yeah. So God knows how that's really going to work. Who cares? You know what it seems to be really coming out of the Ultimate Fighter, whether you win or not, if you're good enough, you'll stick around. Yeah, and if not, you won't. That's really that contract doesn't really mean that it's probably a nice little bounce for you, nice little bit of money for you. But
like really, for example, Jonathan Brookings is a good example of.
There you go.
Okay, he won the show, but who's the guy he lost to? The black guy.
Michael Johnson. He beat Michael Johnson.
Yeah, he beat Michael Johnson, but I think Johnson's showing himself to be a much better fighter.
He's gone. He's
with a greater future.
Joined the Black Zillions. Yeah, had a couple of good fights. Done well. Yeah, it's true.
Crew, Black Zillions.
No, my second favourite crew.
Who's your first?
Stockton.
Stockton.
209, baby.
We were in the house. We were in the house last night. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, and we can't, of course, we'll go into the fight shortly, but we can't, of course, carry on without mentioning the 2 coaches this season.
Of course. Jesus Christ.
As Dana introduced them to the fighters, it was like, okay, here we have the light heavyweight champion of the world, achieved a lot at a young age, John Jones, and Team Sonnen.
Yeah, you already know.
Team Sonnen.
Yeah, if you don't already know, you're about to find out, basically.
Get to know.
Yeah, you will get to know. And straight away, there was a great little bit of banter between Jones and Sonnen. I quite like the way Jones has handled him so far as well, where he's just sort of not biting, just sort of going, whatever. And I thought it was quite funny when he did the little look to the camera, like, check this guy. And he's just like, listen to this.
Look at this Joker.
Yeah, it was great. So I love it already. I'm hoping it will get more antagonistic.
It will.
As the season goes on.
That was just a preview.
Off to a good start, I'd say. Yeah. It wasn't forced. No. That was the complaint with Cruz and Faber.
God, I'll never forget that season.
Yeah, so forced. Whereas this is
because it was live as well. Then put so much more pressure on those 2 fuckers
to produce. Yeah, that's true. Looking forward to that dynamic. And then we've got 14 fights to get through.
So
if you're watching this, you've watched them already. So
Just give you some opinions.
Yeah, maybe just talk about the standout fighters, really.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one that jumped out to me was probably Kevin Casey, who was the guy.
He had the Pride t-shirt on.
He had a Pride t-shirt on. Straight away, that won me over.
And he's a Gracie fucking fighter.
And he's a Gracie guy. And if any of you watching are also into the game Street Fighter, he also looks a bit like Kevin Landon, a.k.a. Dominion.
Oh, right,
the best guile player in the world. Yeah. So, I'm rooting for this guy. And he looked solid in his fight. He dominated. But
he didn't.
He let the guy kind of, like, overall, I mean, he dominated, but he kind of...
Well, I just got, he won the Gracie way, which was, he took a bit of like, his face was fucked. He took a beating, tapped him out. That's how Gracie's fight.
Yeah. But he initiated the action, maybe. That's more what I meant than dominated. So, he was just straight in the guard and shit.
Yeah.
And got cut open. And then, just tapped him out, which was great. Always good to see a finish. And then the next guy on my list who stood out was...
Clint Hester?
Thor, I said, stood out just because he's easy to remember.
Oh, right, just the name.
He's Swedish, his name's Thor.
And he's an Avenger.
Yeah, and he had a little bit of a Fedor vibe going on as well. Yeah. He's very quiet. Yeah. So we'll see how he turns out. And then, yes, Clint Hester looked very good. Professional boxer.
Yeah.
Turned MMA fighter who looked great on the ground as well, didn't
he? Yeah, everything he looked like. Striking, grappling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, just the whole package. Strength.
Yeah. Athleticism,
Did it go... Oh, he beat the UK guy from Milton Keynes. Who didn't look all that at all, to be honest.
No. Yeah. Didn't feature much in the show.
No. But that was the one where, in that fight, Jones, like... Okay, I'm just going to say it now, right? I'm on Team Sonnen, okay? And I think you should be worried about yourself as a personality when you're up against someone like Chael Sonnen and you come off as the bad guy, which is what's going on with John Jones.
Yeah.
Because he was just, any guy who was like already dominating the fight, he would start coaching it. It's like, well, first of all, he's already dominating, he doesn't need that. And second of all, there's an element of like, don't try and take a bit of this victory as if it's down to you.
Down to you, yeah, that's exactly what he was doing.
So John Jones is going to annoy me, I know it. He's already annoyed me,
But at the same time, I respect the fact that he's being himself.
Yeah, he's consistent.
Yeah, he is consistent. He is consistent.
It doesn't matter who doesn't like him, he'll carry on being John Jones.
He will be John Jones.
Speaking of John Jones, his fucking best mate, Bubba.
Bubba, yeah.
Oh, he was annoying.
Yeah, didn't
crying, whining little... Yeah. We were saying, like, like, when it comes to male fighters crying, there's something a lot more... like, when a Brazilian cries... There's just something a lot cooler and genuine about it.
Yeah, it seems righteous.
Yeah.
Like, they're so emotional about what they're talking about that they just... Yeah, I mean, obviously, you can look on YouTube. We've got our coverage of TUF Brazil. We were big fans of the crying on that show because it was, I don't know.
Shit was real,
It was real. Yeah, they kept it real. Whereas there's another type of crying which is more just sort of...
Whiny.
Blubbery, whiny.
Yeah, especially when you're doing it to your wife as well. Come on, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. That should be the other way around.
Because he started in the hotel room. You were saying it was only him and his wife. Yeah. And he starts going on about his backstory,
his life story. Yeah.
Man, there was this one time the wife just standing there. Yeah, I know, I was there, motherfucker.
Yeah. Or if she wasn't there, she's heard about it all already.
I've heard this story
I've heard this before. Yeah. So he was acting up for the cameras.
Yeah.
I think he was a bit too confident because of the John Jones connection. He was like, knowing he's part of Jackson's camp obviously must give you a bit of confidence coming in, and he didn't really impress me that much. He did what he needed to do.
I think it annoys me all the time when a fighter comes in and they're already mates with one of the coaches and they kind of belong, because it's kind of, that's not in the spirit of the Ultimate Fighter. Kind of, because it's like it's meant to be
everyone for themselves sort of thing. Everyone gets a fair shot.
Young up and comers who haven't quite delved into this world yet.
Yeah, or older guys who've just never quite made it to a high level promotion. Like,
but he seems like someone
shows here and there.
Yeah, and he might have just ended up in the UFC regardless because he's already on
the camp. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
It's like you wasted a spot there for someone who could have got
and you cried like a bitch. So needless to say, we're not rooting for Bubba.
I don't like this guy.
No. But then, having said that thing you said about the camp as well, like he couldn't wait to announce, I'm part of Jackson's camp.
Yes.
Then there was a guy later who fought the English fighter, Luke Barnett.
Mike Persons.
No, it was Coring. Nick Coring.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was part of... well, we don't even know. he didn't mention any camp whatsoever. But as he was walking into the cage, Nate Diaz was just sitting there. To give him
possibly Gilbert Melendez.
And Gilbert Melendez, by the look of things. And yeah, I'm presuming that.
Fist bump.
Yeah, a little bit. That for him, yeah. And
I think you were saying it's the mentality of that team. It's like, camp, you don't advertise this.
No.
If you're from this camp, that's it. You're just from this camp.
Just from this camp, yeah. And you just go. The way to represent the camp is not to talk about it. It's to go in there and beat the shit out of someone.
Just fight.
But unluckily for him, he wasn't up to scratch. But with our UK bias, we are happy to see an English guy get in there. And he looks good, man. He ended up being Chelsea's first pick.
Yeah. Luke Barnett.
But yeah, does anyone else particularly stand out for you? Have we mentioned Uriah Hall?
Uriah Hall, he's got best fight so far. Czech Congo looked like.
Yeah, he looked good. He looked like he had everything.
Versus Andy, you can't teach work ethic ends.
Yeah, what a quote.
I don't know what that means.
They say you can't teach work ethic. I think that's the only way you can get a work ethic. But,
there was Josh Saman. Saman?
The one I thought.
Josh, are you ready, Saman? When he announces to everyone, "Are you ready?" Ooh, ooh. He belongs in wrestling.
Yeah, you wouldn't even get that in WWE. That's too cheesy for that. Even. Are you ready? And then a double fucking punch to the head.
Yeah, like this is standing on top of the turnbuckle. 1, 2.
Yeah, the crowd are joining in. Fuck off. But he did win, so
yeah,
you know he got in the house. Whatever.
I don't have any other. Right, that's our 10-minute timer up.
Yeah, cool.
So we're trying to stick to 10 minutes.
Trying to keep it short and sweet.
Like I said, I didn't really have any other standouts.
Uriah Hall, did we mention Uriah?
Yeah, we mentioned him.
Yeah. So
Czech Congo look-alike.
Yeah, I was going to say something about him. Oh yeah, he also seemed like a very humble, very nice guy. Like went and thanked the guy after the fight and introduced himself to his mom and stuff. It's like bloody hell, you know.
The mom liked him.
Yeah, so respectful guy. So I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him and Luke Barnett this season.
Yeah,
as the two. Oh, and I'm rooting for Dylan Andrews from New Zealand.
Yeah, your man raised in a weed house.
A weed house.
Is that how they described it? A weed house.
I think it's a marijuana grow house.
Right. Okay.
But Once Were Warriors is one of my favourite films of all time. So I'm rooting for the Maori warrior as well. So
Maori spirit.
Yeah.
He took out that psycho with the 17 dead bodies under his basement.
He was slashed up and his neck cut.
He looked like he belonged in like Saw or something like that.
Yeah. But
he got smacked.
I'll tell you where he doesn't belong. The Ultimate Fighting House. But yeah, I think that sums it all up.
Okay, and the last fight was just Colin the Dick.
The Dick Hart, and he did seem like a bit of a dick, so fair enough.
Got rear naked though. Rear naked. Welcome to Rear Naked Chat. We didn't mention that.
Oh yeah, we met. Yeah,
because my wife came in and says, "What's that on the wall?" So, no, you read it downwards.
Whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, the teams can't really say much at the moment.
Yeah.
Seemed like Sonnen had the better team.
Yeah.
But that's happened before, where someone looks like they got a much better team and doesn't work out for them, so you can't really judge it at this point.
And always ask this question. I think I asked last time, but what would you pick, first fight or first fighter?
I think fighter.
Yeah. Because not only that, not only have you got the first fighter, you've kind of got the first fighter every pick. Yeah.
So theoretically, if they should win their fight.
Yeah.
But
it looks like they've handed control right back to fucking Sonnen with that first fight pick.
Seemed like it, yeah. They've taken
Sonnen's number 1 versus Jones' number 1, 2, 3, 4.
Gilbert Smith, the Colorado French guy.
Yeah.
But you never know, man. You never know, especially Ultimate Fighter. He might just. I mean, Luke Barnett looks like he's got great range or whatever, but that guy might just rush him up against the cage and dirty box him for 10 minutes,
but
as we always see in the Ultimate Fighter.
Stare down was like, that was the difference between the heights.
Yeah, he's going to struggle to get in. He's going to struggle to get in that range.
It's easy. If I'm picking that Luke,
still picking,
easy win.
Still picking Luke. I'm picking UK all the way.
Yeah.
Just let me make that clear.
Oh, God, I can't wait for the reaction when Sonnen wins that first fight and is able to rob it in Jones' face. God. That's going to be great. That's going to spark this whole season.
We've got that to look forward to, as well as allegedly the greatest knockout in mixed martial arts history, according to Dana White. So, looking looking forward to that.
That was the way they edited it in the preview was very Simpsons like, because it's just like Dana White saying, cuts. "God damn!" Cut to an ambulance.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. That about wraps it up.
Yeah.
Thanks for viewing.
Yeah,
Twitter, Rear Naked Chat. YouTube channel, you're already there, Rear Naked.
And my favourite, comments.
Comments, yeah. Just whatever your thoughts are on anything we've said or anything in this series we might have missed, or if you just want to call us cunts.
Yeah, like I did to you at the start.
It's come full circle.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I call you a cunt, you call me a cunt.
That's it. It's all circular. That's it, Rear Naked Chat. At gmail.com, bitch.